always knew that I wanted to travel and do mission work.
Hmm.
So even when I was little and I didn't really understand what that meant, we used to talk about missionaries at my church when I was in Bible study on Sundays. And I knew right then and there that was something I wanted to do with my life.
If you can't write a contract on the back of your car on a Saturday night, then you don't know enough. All you have to do is show up. Just show up and you can succeed. Let's get to the point. This interview with Sherrie Salas was really special as she received the KW Humanitarian Award. And just let me read to you what Sherrie did. She won the award in recognition of a KW associate who endeavors to improve the human condition through saving lives and alleviating suffering while supporting and contributing to the basic human dignity of those in need. Hope you enjoy a very special interview with Sherrie Salas. Today, we get to talk to, for the second or third time, one of our top producing agents. She just, for the year 2021, received a President's Award, which is $12 million and over in production. However, today we're going to focus on the other award she has received, which is maybe even better for you,
Yes.
is the Humanitarian Award. And that's the award for a Keller Williams agent who has gone above and beyond and has performed the most services for others, and it has nothing to do with real estate. So how does a single mom handle all of this, having children, grandchildren
Yes.
now, and do all this work behind the scenes?
So for me, it's about prioritizing my life and finding out what's really important to me. And so that really starts with God, and then it filters down through my family and others, serving others, my business, of course, because that's how I provide my life for my children and also be able to be able to do other things for people, which is what the Humanitarian Award was all about. It was a huge surprise to receive that award and didn't know I was getting it until I started hearing like a board I had served on that from years ago. And as soon as you said the name of it, I knew that the award was for me. So it was pretty shocking to get the award.
Yeah, when the award is announced, you don't know.
No.
So I do the description and then I do a little bio of the individual, which we received some of that from your family, your daughter. And then it was awesome. Yeah. And then I think everybody responds so much to that award all the time.
Yes.
So what all did you do?
So to start out with, I initially started serving on a board back in Texas for an abused shelter for women and children. And there's kind of a story that goes along with that. So I'll kind of explain why that was so important to me. When I was in my late 20s or early 20s, I ended up going to the shelter with my two children who were very little at the time. And I had to stay there because of an abusive relationship that I was in. And after I got out of that, I always said that I wanted to give back and to that shelter, and just in that general cause to help other women because I had been through that. So my test, as we say, became my testimony. And so it was really important for me to go back and serve at the shelter there. So that's kind of how it started. My grandmother has always helped at her church. She's helped around her community. So she was the one that kind of opened my eyes that that's something that we should do. So I kind of started there and just started getting involved in my community throughout the years. And so now I help out at my church and I help around here, in the local community. I'm on the board for the Women's Council of Realtors as well. So I serve on that. President-elect this year, president next year for 2023.
Wow.
And then I also travel each year to Peru and help build homes for families in need there. So my daughter and I have both been going now. This will be our 4th year to go. So what we do is we go there and I know for them, we're putting up 4 wooden walls. And sometimes it's, it may have rooms blocked off. And then, again, just the wood across the top. It's not something big like what we see here in America, but it's very nice for them because some of them are literally living in boxes, they're living out in the cold. Lots of families are pushed together in one little area, so we're able to provide a home for them and their children. So we do that as well as we do Bible study, and we also just love on the kids while we're there. We take donations while we're there, whether that's clothing, vitamins, essential needs like toothpaste, and so forth. So
Who is that through?
So that is with Reimagined Ministry.
Mm.
And it's a lady, her name is Linda English,
Mhm.
and she's been doing it for 18 years now.
Wow. On her own?
So, yes, on her own. Well, she's created Reimagined Ministry. I believe it actually was before her, but she has continued with this mission and the ministry. And they even have a board, and they have 3 teams that travel each year through the summer. And there's about 30 people on each team, and they get to build 5 houses each. So we build approximately 15 to 20 houses per year for the ministry. So it's pretty unique. And they've been working in the same area called Santa Rosita for this time period for 18 years plus. And so they've gotten to see these kids grow up. Some of them are now adults that they've watched from just being little babies.
Wow.
So when we go there, we get to see the same kids again, the same families. They're very welcoming. And it's just, once you do it, it changes your life, and you always want to.
So how did you begin that process?
So I always knew that I wanted to travel and do mission work.
Mhm.
So even when I was little and I didn't really understand what that meant, we used to talk about missionaries at my church when I was in Bible study on Sundays. And I knew right then and there that was something I wanted to do with my life. I almost could start crying now because it's just something that's always been on my heart, and
I can
I
tell.
know that that's something that's important to me.
Mhm.
So I have told one of my friends here who actually got me signed up with Keller Williams, Craig Faust. I had told him one day, I said, I really want to do mission work. And he said, I know just the person that can help you
Oh.
with that. And so he put me in contact with her. And
Mhm.
now we've been doing it for, this will be, again, our 4th year. So just a friend of a friend, he had been before. And the first year we went, he went with us. And we traveled together, and so he was able to introduce us to everyone, and he actually went on the mission trip. And what we do is we carry sandbags up the mountains too, and we carry panels of wood up the mountains. So we'll form a human chain,
Mhm.
and we carry these panels up the mountain to wherever the house needs to be built, because it's very steep, and there's not roads to get up to the top a lot of times. So
Wow. And now you've made it a family affair?
it is. Yeah, I want to actually even get more of my family involved. So I hope that one day my son and my other daughter will get to go. Lexi wants to go. It's just that she has little ones, so it's not her season of life to do yet. So
Right. Great way to describe that. So back to the shelter. I didn't know that. What you talked about there by being going to the shelter. That was in Texas?
yes,
Wow.
yeah. So I've had a lot of things throughout my life happen that yes, they were bad at the time of what happened
Mhm.
along the way, whether that be abuse in my own home, why I left home at 16 years old, abuse with the father of my children.
Mhm.
But along the way, I felt like God has always used those things so
Mhm.
that I can help other people. So I always believe that nothing happens in vain or for bad. You can always turn it around for something good. So anything that has happened to me in the past, I always try to help other people who go through that as well.
Wow. So if there were other people that wanted to, after hearing you, wanted to get involved in any of this, what should they do?
Just reach out to me. Reimagine's always asking for people to come and help and to be a part of the mission trip. And they can do donations. If they don't want to travel, they could do donations as far as clothes and the other things that I mentioned earlier, donations.
Mhm.
Or they can donate money to help build the houses because they need that as well. So there's lots of different ways that they can help. Something else I'd like to do is also travel. I was just at family reunion, and Mo Anderson, has the whole inspirational morning,
Mhm.
and they were talking about some people who had gone to Uganda and helped build homes for some of the children there, because there's a lot of children without homes over there.
Right.
So it's something that's always been on my heart is also doing traveling and going to an orphanage and just loving on kids. So that's still to come. So hopefully, in this next year or two, that'll be something that I'll get to do as well.
That is something. For people who aren't from Keller Williams, the family reunion is our annual convention. And every year we have KW Cares,
Yes.
which is kind of Keller Williams' arm where the Keller Williams agents give money to KW Cares, and they donate that money to people, Keller Williams people, generally speaking, in need. And
Correct.
then every year, with Mo Anderson, I think she's now called the co-chair, chairman of the board. She leads an inspirational, used to be breakfast, now it's brunch, and they give money to charities in need. And these stories are heart wrenching. The first
Oh, they
time I
are.
went, I had a headache when I left, and no one told me about how emotional it would be there. But it
Yes.
is
Yeah.
something, right?
Yes.
Touched your heart, obviously.
It did. And, it's funny because the gentleman they had on there was talking about actually retiring so that he could go do mission work. And then they talked to him about actually continuing to work
Mm,
and be able to help financially and still travel is actually the best way because,
yeah,
and so then he said his plan is to help 1,000 children or something. It was incredible. So
right.
it just inspires you to continue to grow in that area and continue to give more.
Right. So it's the same for you. It's not about the money, but what the money can do for you, right?
Absolutely.
And you
Yes,
turn that into
absolutely.
supporting your family and charities, right?
Correct. Things that, I see it when I see there's a need. I want to try to step in as much as possible and help
Mm,
where I can. And there's nothing better than seeing the smiles on those kids' faces, when we show up, and then the tears when we leave. And that stuff stays with you forever. And then they'll find a way to communicate with you through Facebook or something. And
mhm.
um, and even though you can't speak the same language, none of that matters. I mean, it's pretty incredible how God works, and you don't need the same language to be able to communicate and play with them. And even we have interpreters with us, and they translate a lot of the stuff for us. But still, we could still spend all day loving on them without that.
That's awesome. All right. So if you want to learn how to give or get involved with any of these charities, please contact Sherry.
Yes,
She'll be happy to help you. And of course, we've got our Keller Williams Cares donation program here. Just see one of us. And
Red Day. If you want to get involved in Red Day,
o-
which is us giving back to our community too. So,
okay, yeah, Sherry's, that's a Keller Williams thing. So we have an annual event. It's on the Thursday. I think it's the second Thursday of May,
correct.
closest to Mo Anderson's birthday. In honor of her, we have a day where Keller Williams offices close, or where most of the agents go, and we do that here at Keller Williams Emerald Coast. Each one of our offices and or business centers, they find a charity that they're connected to and passionate about, and they give either time or money. So if you're interested, and Sherry's in charge of that this year for our whole franchise, of course. So we'll be getting involved with that. We're making plans. So, right,
Yes, yes,
do you have any
absolutely.
plans meeting wise?
So we are going to meet every Tuesday after
Okay.
the big all company meeting. We'll have a meeting for Red Day, so 12:30, the third Tuesday of every month.
Okay, third Tuesday of every month at 12:30 in the Destin Market Center.
That's correct. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
you can check out the Red Day meetings for the plan, and each, as I said, each office is going to participate in a charity that they're passionate about, and so come and see Sherry.
Get involved.
Get
Yes.
involved.
Help us. Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.